Celtic here doing another Marvel Legends figure review on the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Spider-Man Build-A-Figure Wave, Green Goblin, Spider-Girl, or to be more technical, the Skyline Sirens. Definitely one of the hardest figures to come by out of the three, the new ones, aside from Boomerang and Toxin, but Toxin is pretty much the very least since he's very such a bland figure with very little detail. Boomerang and Spider-Girl, however, seems a lot more better in terms of paint applications and detail and wash of throughout the figure. And I had to get her in a different site where they sell, costumes and collectibles to get her. So apparently I paid more, $10 more than she normally goes for retail. And again, definitely hardest figure to come by. And from judging from I found her from that other location, the quality issues is pretty horrendous, to be honest. And in my opinion, I don't know about how you guys, but apparently every Spider-Girl I try to compare because, paint applications were bad and different from the other one. All of them had really bad quality issues. I'm really upset about it, and this is like the very least figure that actually had less quality issues, but some minor paint applications here and there is kind of like not ruining it for me, but it is how it is. So before going into detail of the figure, let's take a quick look at the packaging. So here's the standard packaging of the Marvel Legends Spider-Man, typical, window boxing showing, and here's the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Skyline Sirens. On the side, you got pretty much illustration image of Spider-Man on both sides. On the top, you pretty much got the Spider-Man logo that's pretty much embossed in the matte box here. And then from the back, you see the Skyline Sirens of the two, and here's Black Cat, little bio of Skyline Sirens. Did you pause it and read it? Okay. And on the bottom, we have like the whole many pieces of the Green Goblin Build-A-Figure series, and all the figure from this toy line, of all the figures that contain the parts and whatnot and been released so far. And yes, Skyline Sirens and pretty much the Spawn, the Sybios are pretty much like the hardest figures to get, and maybe these two guys as well, but from mostly I've seen at retail, Electro, Spider-Man, and Superior Spider-Man, pretty much all the ones that are fully in stock. But yeah, good luck to you guys to find your own figure of all, or every single figures of this Green Goblin Build-A-Figure line. But yeah, that's it for the box, and here we take a look at the accessories that come with the figure. One of the accessories that comes, she comes with a little paper manual thing that pretty much describes the pieces of the Green Goblin. Pretty much she comes with the torso. It pretty much has a list of the figures, of the 6 figures that came with each part of the figure. And that's it for that. And for Build-A-Figure piece is the torso. Not too bad. It's a bit light and a bit heavy. Like this is a bit hollow in the bottom part of the torso, and bit of the hip is just a bit heavier side, but it's really not too bad. So that's all for the accessories, and let's go to Spider-Girl. So here's a closer look at the figure, and like I said, I don't know if you pick up immediately, but I see it pretty much crystal clear that this figure has a ton of quality issues. Like I mentioned before, I had to go through not 5, not 10, but at least 15 different Spider-Girls to find the perfect one that has both good, clean paint applications and almost close to perfection, because that's how I am as a collector, like really picky in terms of paint applications and good quality control. She is a bit stiff and she is a bit loose in some areas, which will go in detail later, but unfortunately the paint applications from all 15 I compared to is pretty horrendous. For example, as you can see from her right in the cleavage up to her belly button and around her face, you can see there's like lines indented in their eyes, incomplete black, white, or go to black paint of this figure, both in the bottom, how it misses and everything like that. I came across other figures of Spider-Girl, that has really worse paint applications, like she has some black dots of her faces here. The lines are not as clean as it should be, kind of messed up, like if hands got interfered once the paint was still wet, and, just like some dirt that was on her thighs and everything like that. This is like really horrendous. I think like this is figure out of all the figures of this wave was pretty much terrible in terms of quality issues. I'm really disappointed. So I picked up the very least good looking figure of all of the batch. But hey, I mean, you can't win them all in terms of having good, perfect Marvel Legends figure. And I don't know if my camera picked it up, but I think you barely see it, that she has some black dots in her nose. I tried to scrape it off with my thumbnail, and apparently I made it worse. So I would advise you to find some sort of scrapage of, it's like something like dots or whatever. I say, blow it first and don't, scratch it off with your your thumb, because otherwise, you probably ruin the paint applications a lot more than it already has. But minor gripes aside, you know, it's a decent figure, you know, not too bland, you know, it's just like very simplistic. I like it, you know, the very clean lines of the figure, you know, very nice and black. The head sculpt is really nice, you know, this isn't like painted with that glossy white paint, and this outer line of the eyes, you know, it's very sculpted in. Like how the paint application on her lips, you know, very nicely pink, not too bright or not too dark, but very perfect. Love the hair sculpt on her hair. Looks very nice. I wish it's kind of articulated so you can move left to right, but unfortunately it's a bit soft, so it won't hinder articulation, which I'll get into detail later. And, you know, she got very nice proportionate size of her upper chest area and the lower body, you know, again, nicely paint applications, and the lines are not sculpted in, just, you know, nicely painted. Pretty much at the front of the figure is pretty much, you know, got this paint application in the back, not so much, and from lower body to her legs, not too much. Another gripe of this quality control issue of the figure is just like, you know, you can see this little gap there. It's moving a lot more when I pose her or move her legs around. Kind of really annoys me. At the same time, it worries me because I thought I might break it, and then there you go. $30 down the drain, you know, that's how much I pay for it compared to $20, and yeah, a bit steep, but I wanted to get her. And, you know, not too much at the back. She does have a nice, beautiful booty there. Loved it a lot. Nice legs. You got that number stamped on the left leg. You know, not much into detail, but, you know, again, very simplistic. That she has got that whipping hand. Not fully complete, but it's barely there. She got a fist. Not too much. But, yeah. You know, not so much, you know, into this figure going to, but like I said, the simplicity is pretty much what I love about it, and it's just like, it really satisfies me, and I love about it, and I just lovely have this figure in my hands, finally. So the articulation for this figure is pretty decent, but it could have been a better job at it. Her head goes up that much, despite her hair, sculpted hair, like I said, the bottom part is a bit soft, so it won't hinder as much. Very nicely done. She could go look down that far out. She goes left and right as always, 360 if you want to, if you're that twisted. Go hands and outward. You know, she got the elbow bends that far. She got rotates at the elbow, kind of rotates on the wrist. Goes up and down. The kind of way she has to have bicep swivel. You know, would have been nice, but apparently she don't. But again, it's not too bad. You can get a good pulsability with her arms and so forth. She does have an ab crunch, but unfortunately, doesn't move forward that much and back as well. It's a really disappointment because I kind of wish she has a better ab crunch, so that way you could bend her more in terms of, you know, having poses like she's, you know, whip slinging around. But, you know, you could do a little more of her lower bodies to pull that off. And she has no waist joint, unfortunately, or waist swivel. And it could have been a lot better because, you know, this ab crunch here doesn't really do much. She could move forward that much and that far back. She does an upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees that's really bendable that far out. Really nicely done. She does have a boot swivel, which is really good. Comes in handy, but it's a bit loose for my figure. It's really having her to pose difficult because, you know, how loose this figure is, but I'd rather have the figure regardless. But back to the articulation, her feet goes up that much and that far down, goes left and right and so forth, and she does have an ankle pivot, very nicely done, and no peg holes. Oh, peg holes, never mind. My mistake there, just like a Marvel Legends newbie you're dealing with here, so I apologize for that. For a size comparison, here she is against the Spider-Man, and here he is with Black Cat, and you can see how nicely it is in terms of height, and probably come within scale with each other, you know, from shortest to tallest and all that stuff. So yeah, really nice scale though. I really like this a lot, you know. Really glad I have all the figures of this Build-A-Figure Wave series, and I'm really satisfied with it regardless of the price point and the paint application errors and articulation, and also the quality issues I had to suffer through this figure. But unfortunately, or fortunately, I'd rather have her than not have her at all. So be advised, if you're looking for this figure, you know, heads up with the quality issues, you might have to deal with it regardless. You know, you really can't expect all figures to have good applications. And like I said, I think Hasbro is pretty much more attention or doing a better job with the Star Wars figures than Marvel Legends, which is really unfortunate, and hopefully I'm wrong on that. So that is my review of the Marvel Legends Skyline Sirens Spider-Girl. Hope you guys find this review useful. If you liked the video, please don't forget to like, comment, and if you want to subscribe with other reviews I have in store for this channel. This is Celtic here. Until next time, guys. See ya.